All right, new all-time high in the stock market. New all-time high in the stock market. I told you that was going to happen back in May. Go back, review these videos that I put up in May when we had that correction. And by the way, the corrections in November, December of last year, when I was making these videos, and I said those are panicky, emotional stock market corrections. You got to buy those corrections. The market was going to go to a new high, which it did. We had another correction in May, which I forecast, by the way. And as that, I think we were down 7%. I said you got to buy that. An important bottom is being made, and I've said repeatedly market was going to go to new highs, which it did. I lost a lot of subscribers in November and December. I lost subscribers in that period. These people, they're looking for the system fairy. They can't handle the slightest bit of adversity. They get panicky, they get afraid. Folks, I have said so many times in these interviews, and maybe I should start doing more mental game videos because people really need that. I mean, the mental game is the key element to success. Here's a case in point. Gold. Look at gold now approaching $1,400 an ounce. Now, I've been long gold. I have a long gold position on for going on almost 3 years. Okay, started buying gold, probably it was August of 2016. Bought every single dip. A lot of people were very interested in that gold outlook that I had, and it was a fundamental outlook based on, there were a few different bullish elements in there. One was rate hikes by the Fed, which, by the way, just as an aside, let me say the Fed has not cut rates. We're still at 2.5% on the Fed funds rate. What the Fed did is to say they are not raising rates at this time, and the indication yesterday and the indication in the markets now for several months is that the Fed will cut rates probably sometime this year, perhaps as soon as next month. So that would be a new development. But until now, the Fed funds rate is at 2.5%, and gold is approaching $1,400. So that was one element in my bullish gold outlook. The other element was the gold supply-demand fundamentals themselves. They are very bullish. I mean, there's really been no new mine supply, or at least not significant mine supply, and gold demand has been going up, central bank buying, etc. But I've been long gold basically for 3 years. Now this, is the concept of patience. I've done many videos on patience, and just as a little anecdote here, I will tell you, I have many stories like this, because with all the subscribers who have come and gone and who remain with me, each and every one of them is a story unto themselves. Very interesting. For me, it's an enlightening thing, because I see human behavior firsthand through the contact that I have with many of these people. Nice people, good people. But I see a lot of people there, what their problem is, and either they don't want to admit it, or they're just in some fantasy land where I talk about searching for the system fairy, that sort of thing. They don't want to kind of work on themselves to steel themselves against emotion. Anyway, I had one guy for a pretty long time. The guy always presented himself as a tough guy. He was I think he liked to go to the gym, he worked out and everything, very tough, talking about how tough he was all the time. By the way, he was from another country, I'll just mention that, I won't mention the country. Always tough, right? When gold was coming down, and he was very bullish on gold along with me, but every time it came down through those periods of correction, I'd get emails from this guy, not even emails, he would be messaging me 5, 6, 8, 10 times a day. Oh, look at this, look at this. Now, on the surface, he would say, yeah, this is a great buying opportunity. This is a great buying opportunity. But you could tell through that kind of bravado, this is a great buying opportunity. He was really kind of frightened. He was kind of scared. And let's face it, gold lingered at lower price levels for a long time. And you know, there was always this sense that at any moment it was going to collapse, right? And people had the memory of the 2011 to the 2015 decline. It was fresh in their minds, and every new level down, while gold was meandering around, people got scared, and not just my subscribers. I mean, you had big banks and analysts on Wall Street, and just recently, by the way, I think probably last month in May, you had one of the big, I don't remember which one it was, maybe it was Morgan Stanley or something, said, that's it for gold, the gains are over. And we were like around below 1300, in the high 12s. Anyway, this guy, he finally reached a point, he said, I can't take it anymore. I'm out. I'm canceling the subscription. So he went out. And then we had that rally in gold up until, I guess it went up to like 13.10, 13.12. And I get an email from this guy. I hadn't heard from him in months, right? By the way, he owes me money too. The guy, his credit card declined several times, payments for MMT Trader. I let it go, right? He said, Mike, thanks to you, I stuck with my gold and I got out at a profit. That was like almost $100 ago. So I'm sure this guy is kicking himself right now. Now this is an example of patience. Like I've used the example of Warren Buffett, who says he won't even get into a stock unless he can consider a 5-year time horizon holding period of that stock. I've been long this gold market, and believe me, I'm not a gold bug at all. I'm a trader, I'm an investor, I get in based on fundamentals, but I've been long this gold market for going on 3 years and accumulated a lot of my position at much lower prices. Right now we're approaching the 1400. Now contrast that to another subscriber I have, who's a woman, very nice lady. I hardly ever hear from her, but she'd been building a gold position, and every time gold came down, I'd get an email sporadically, very intelligent questions, very composed in her manner and the way she, posed questions or asked me, Mike, this should be a good buying opportunity. You could tell a person with perspective, with control over her emotions. Now I suspect, I haven't spoken to her, but I suspect that she has done very, very well on that position. Not to mention other positions in the stock market where she took advantage of declines in particular stocks that were high quality companies that were beaten down in these episodes of panic that have occurred and which occur sporadically in the market and which will continue to occur from time to time. That's the nature of the market. So you contrast those two individuals. Somebody quiet, composed, reflective, in control of their emotions, intelligent, to somebody presenting this toughness on the exterior, this bravado. Yeah, I'm a trader. I'm in there. Mike, look at gold. It's down. It's down, right? It's a great buying opportunity. It's down. But you could tell on the, he was really scared, but he was trying to make it like, oh yeah, hey, I'm out. Thank you. I think he basically broke even. Now look at it. Folks, I cannot overemphasize the concept of mental game, and within that concept, the element of patience, the trait of patience. Okay? Now, many of you, and I've been right on all these things, the stock market call, the gold, all of these things. Now, it has taken, in some instances, time for these things to develop. Remember, my approach is a fundamental approach. It's based on understanding through the lens of MMT, which is the proper understanding of how the monetary system functions. So, putting all that aside, there are things right now which are developing. All right, very interesting things. By the way, this whole thing with the Fed, and again, I'll just repeat how incredible it is to me that nobody not the smartest economist, not even the Fed itself has made any mention of the debt ceiling in the decline in bond yields, the rise in bond prices, and the Fed's own actions to reduce bank reserves, forcing banks to replace those tier 1 assets with other tier 1 assets, meaning treasuries, where there is now a limit, an artificial shortage. Very interesting. No mention of that. Only me. Okay? And the key to that remains the debt ceiling. But a lot of things coming together, things, by the way, bank reserves and these flows that I've been talking about still apply because the debt ceiling is, still in place. And there's a date coming up, which my subscribers know, where the volatility will swing back the other way again, as long as the debt ceiling is in place. So you got to know all these things. Again, better information, better understanding, better data, better mental game. Add it all up, it equates to success. And ostensibly, that's what everybody's looking for. At least that's what they say they are looking for. I submit to you, and I've said it in the past, that many people think they're looking for success. They think they're looking for money and profits, when in fact, they're really looking for something else. In most cases, for most people who don't have success, they're not looking for money, they're looking for action or something else. Because everyone can achieve success and profitability. That is a choice. So there you have it. All right, everybody. New highs in the stock market, as I said. Bye-bye.